రెండు రోజు నుంచి ఈ నేషనల్ ఉమెన్ పార్లమెంట్ విజయవాడ పవిత్ర సంగమంలో జరుగుతుంది. నాకు ఈ పార్లమెంట్ చూసి చాలా సంతోషంగా ఉంది. Why? Because the enthusiasm I see in you, in all the girls, when they were coming to me with the questions they have, it's amazing. You all girls, you are achievers. For me, you are my inspiration. At your age, I wasn't even half active and half alert as you girls are. This National Women's Parliament, why in India? Because we are a country which proudly associates its identity with the woman, when we say Bharat Mata. That's why India. And then why Andhra Pradesh? Because again, of course, we are a state which associates its identity with the woman, Telugu Talli. So yes, India, and yes, Andhra Pradesh. And Andhra Pradesh women are, I would say, they are already very empowered. When I work in the field and I see the Dwakra groups, the SHG women, the girls, the women, all of them, the way they work for themselves, for their community, it's really exciting to see how empowered they really are. But having said that, there is a need of the hour that we empower ourselves and also those, our friends, who are not so much empowered. So it's just not our duty to empower ourselves, but also to empower our friends who need our support. Beginning with the session is building an identity of your own. So what is the first thing which comes in my mind when I say I have to build my identity? For that, I must have a dream of what I want to make an identity of. There's a very famous speech, if you have ever heard of, 1963, Martin Luther King Jr., America, I have a dream. The speech was made in 1963, and that was only one person's dream. But years later, it became a dream of the community, of a country. Same way, you must have a dream. All girls, dream and dream big. You don't deserve anything small. You have to dream big. And you know what the real dreams are? The real dreams are those which don't let you sleep. So work hard towards your dream. So now I'll go little, I'm not that big of an identity to speak very motivating stuff. I don't have that much of experience. So I'll be very specific from my little experience. So what if you have a dream and there are hurdles? There will be hurdles, my darlings. There will be hurdles. There have always been and there will be. How do you overcome those hurdles? First and foremost is that you must identify your hurdles. What are the hurdles in your dream, in building your identity? Then, who are the people or the circumstances which are putting those hurdles? And then how can you solve them? And often I come to know that most of these hurdles, most of these obstacles sometimes come from our own families and societies, intentionally or non-intentionally. How do you fight with your own family? I was once told by one of my teachers that your family, your parents, you have a right to disagree with them, but don't disrespect them. So, if you know your dream is right, then explain, convince, try to find the logic, argue with them, but don't disrespect them. And even when, if the society, your family is not respecting your dream, you have to fight. There's no other way but to fight. And believe me, after the fight, when you will win, all people will come back. And you will be a true winner in the sense. I'll just give you an example. I was reading about Srimati Kalpana Chawla. What was her dream? Her dream was to become an astronaut and NASA scientist. So that time she thought, okay, so first I'll just be very technical and be very specific. And this is especially for my young friends, young girls. So if you decide, I want to become an aeronautical engineering, what will be the hurdles? The first hurdle will come from your family. Oh no, what is this branch I've never heard of? Girls don't go in space. What will you do? So first of all, you have to explain your family that this is your dream and this is what you want to become. What will be the second hurdle maybe? Oh no, it's very expensive. Maybe studying aeronautical engineering is going to be too expensive. Then what will you do? You have to apply your brains. You have to see how can you get the study loans, which scholarships you can get, which colleges you can go. This is the very logical path to your dream. You have to find about that also. What can be the third hurdle? Third hurdle, where will you get the job? There are no jobs maybe in India. Will you go to US? Will you go to UK? Or where will you go? That also, you and only you, my dear, you have to find out how will you get the job. Maybe you will have to wait 2 years to get the job while your all friends will be placed in high-end companies. But that time, you have to remind yourself that being an astronaut is your dream. And even if you have to wait for 2 years, wait it, find the solution and go about it. So be logical about your dreams. And if whosoever tries to stop you, just don't listen to that person. And fly high. Next thing, some things in making your identity. I often come across things like, girls are termed very emotional and very sensitive. I would like to tell you, being emotional and being sensitive is not a weakness. So next time a person tells you that you're very emotional, you're very sensitive, what do you say? You say thank you. Being emotional and being sensitive is really a praise. But you know what? I will tell you a little exciting thing about it. When I joined my service and when I was getting trained in Krishna district, I went to my collector one day in the night and I said, sir, I don't think I can work very well. I'm very emotional. And a man, my collector, told me that being emotional is not a weakness. So you can be great managers, you can be great administrators, you can be great politicians if you are emotional and if you are sensitive. But here, my dear, a caution. There's a difference in being emotional and being an emotional fool. There's a difference in being sensitive and oversensitive. So draw your lines. Be emotional, be sensitive, but don't be emotional fools. Don't be oversensitive. Next thing, I'm just bursting out some myths. I often come around this statement that women are very biologically weak. To all the mothers sitting here, do you agree? I think being worked as a doctor, labor pain is a pain which is one of the hardest pain to bear in this world. And if a woman can bear the labor pain, believe me, she can bear any pain in this world. So we are not biologically weak. But again, having said that, I will accept that we are little biologically different from the men. And that's why I would stress all the girls to be physically active, to lay a great stress on your physical strength and your mental strength. Please engage in some sports, take self-defense training, work out, run, whatever. But be physically very, very strong. Next thing, I often come around this statement that, girls, when they sit in the bunches, they discuss lipstick, suits and saris. I don't agree with this mostly. But then also, to some extent, it's true. So I want you girls that when next time you sit together, just don't discuss lipstick, suits and saris. Discuss politics, discuss governance, discuss economy, discuss finance, and discuss what is happening in your country. A country cannot progress if 50% of the people are not even aware of what is happening in the country. So next time you sit in the groups, make that group meetings very productive. So I will urge every girl that you should be aware of what is happening in your own country. And that's the only way you can participate in the democracy. And real democracy is when you all participate in the democracy. Now, I will just end by saying, I don't know, somehow I wrote it, to that friend of your grandmother who consoled your mother saying, on your birth, so sad, it's a girl. To that shopkeeper who advised you, beta, girls don't go to Superman section, they go to Barbie section. To that uncle who taunted your father when you wore shorts for playing football. Arey, ladki hai, log kya kahenge? To that gossiping auntie who asked your mother to be worried of you as you're 25, earning, working, but not yet married. To that could have been mother-in-law whom you rejected to be with because she wanted something more when you were about to get married. To all those people who did not believe in you, you have to say just these 4 words, I am worth the fight. Thank you.
ఎక్కడ తన పాత్ర వరకు చేయాలో ఏది గైడ్ చేయాలో అంత మాత్రమే చేశారు. ఆ విధంగా ఈరోజు నేను గైనకాలజిస్ట్గా ఒక సేఫ్ ఫార్మా ఇండస్ట్రీలో 300 మంది వర్కర్స్కి ఒక మేనేజింగ్ డైరెక్టర్గా ఉండగలుగుతున్నాను అంటే అది మా నాన్నగారు ఇచ్చినటువంటి భిక్ష.